Hey student, watch this video if you want to learn the difference between present perfect and simple past. Coming up. Hey friends, Teacher Prix here to help you talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime in English. Thank you so much for joining me on another lesson. If it's your first time here, consider subscribing. From Monday to Friday, I post English lessons of all kinds. Grammar, listening tips, pronunciation tips, common mistakes, general tips to help you improve your English skills and become a better English speaker. So consider subscribing so that you don't miss any notification from my updates and lessons that I'm always posting here for you guys. Awesome. Let's get down to business because today I have a lot of explanation. This is part 2, okay? I'm making a series of videos about present perfect. This is the second present perfect video. Remember, if you are watching this video live, post your questions in the comments, in the chat. Okay, you can participate in the chat, send me messages, participate, and post questions about present perfect, because then in the next lesson, in the next video, I can talk about your questions and give you more information. And today is part 2. I have already made one video talking about present perfect. I gave a short introduction. Today I'm going to talk about the difference between present perfect and simple past. There will be at least 2 more videos, I think, 2, maybe 3. There's a lot of information when it comes to present perfect, so I'm making several videos about it, all right? So if you like this kind of lesson, if you like grammar lessons, present perfect lessons, make sure to smash that like button, because that way I know that this is something you are enjoying, that it's a lesson that you're interested in, okay? But here we go. Quick review, all right? I'm going to start with a review because I gave you this lesson 2 weeks ago. And for me, you are my student. So with my students, I always give a review before I give new information. It's always important to review. So what is present perfect? Basically, it's a conjugation in English, okay, that will combine present and past. Not that you're going to use present, but it combines the idea of present and past. And when do you use present perfect? I will use present perfect when I want to describe something that happened in the past. But this action that happened in the past has a possible consequence in my present and possibly in my future, okay? So here, when I'm using present perfect, I'm focusing on the experience that I had and how this may or may not impact my present and my future, okay? For example, I have been to New York. I'm not telling you when. It is a past situation, but I'm focusing on the experience. I'm focusing on this activity. It's not important for me to tell you when. But if I'm using present perfect, you can understand that this action started in the past, it happened in the past, and has a possible consequence in my present, in my current moment, and possibly in my future. It depends, okay? Why, how being to New York has a consequence in my future? Well, I can always talk about it. Yeah. And I'm preparing a video series about my trip to New York. I'm gonna give you more details very soon, but I'm preparing, I think it'll be 7 videos where I talk a little bit more about my experience in New York, things I did, so stay tuned. So basically that is present perfect. Now, one important thing about present perfect, as I said in the previous video, and as I said a few seconds ago, for me, present perfect is focusing more on the action than on the time. I'm not worried about telling you time. I do not use a fixed time, a finished period of time. I cannot do that with present perfect. I can never use yesterday, last week, last year, in 2009, because these are all finished periods of time. Okay? So if you did something in 2009 that was important, that has a consequence now, don't say the time. I have learned a new language. If you say in 2009, then I cannot say present perfect. I have to use simple past. I learned a new language in 2009. But if you say I've learned a new language, then if I am in a conversation with you, I'm gonna start asking questions. Oh, really? How was it? Then I will go to the simple past because I will ask more. I will ask for details. I will ask for more explanations. Okay? So if your phrase, if the situation you want to talk about happened in the past, but has some kind of connection with the present moment and possibly with the future, you do not mention any specific time, any finished specific time, okay? If it's a finished period of time, you cannot do that. Then it's possible to use present perfect. And having a quick reveal of the structure, when you are using present perfect, when you are using present perfect, oh my God, where's my slide? Oh, here it is. When you're using present perfect, here's the structure. You will use a subject, a pronoun, a person, something, okay? It could be even an object, the table, the school, all right? So subject plus have and has, or have or has, or one or the other, okay? You cannot use both. What's the difference? The pronouns you're going to use it with. So have, you will always use have with I, you, we, they, or any subject in the plural form. The tables, the teachers, the cities, the students, Laura and James, plural, more than one, okay? And you will use has with he, she, and it, or any subject that is in the singular, in the third person. James, only James. James has been to New York. My friend has gone to work. Okay, I'm talking about my friend. It could be he, it could be she, but I know it's one. Okay, so singular, third person. Then you will use a verb. And this verb needs to be conjugated in the third column, the past participle, okay? It's a different kind of conjugation that we use with specific structures, like the present perfect, for example. And if you studied simple past, you learned that in the past we have two kinds of verbs. We have the regular verbs and we have the irregular verbs. Here in the past participle, you will use these regular and irregular verbs, but now they will change again. But wait a second. If your verb is regular, travel, traveled, need, needed, want, wanted, watch, watched, work, worked. If it's a regular verb, when you use it in the present perfect, you will repeat the same past conjugation. So I watched a movie yesterday. Simple past. If I want to talk about it, if I want to use the verb watch in present perfect, I will repeat the regular conjugation. I have watched many movies. Okay, so it's a regular verb, it's easier. On the other hand, if your verb is irregular, then in the past participle, there is a good chance your verb will change again. For example, go. In the past form, it's went. In the past participle, it's gone. Okay, so if you use present perfect, then the conjugation has to be in the past participle. I have gone to work. Okay, if I talk about it in the past, I went to work yesterday. Okay, so this is the difference here in the structure. I'm not talking specifically about the difference between past and present perfect. I'm just showing you the structure. This is an important review. So here I have some phrases, some examples. I have worked hard this week. I have been to the USA. My sister has traveled to many countries. My brother hasn't called me. The negative form of the present perfect is have, haven't. Has, hasn't. My subscribers, hey, you guys, my subscribers haven't watched all my videos. Now I have a question for you. Have you watched all my videos? Let me know here in the chat. Do you think that's possible? Have you watched all my videos? Interesting. Okay, I've already watched all series. The structure, Anna, is correct. I've already watched. Then here, all series. What series are you talking about? Then it would have to be a little bit more specific. Okay, this part is a little confusing, but the structure is correct. All right, moving on. Now that I reviewed, and guys, if you think I'm going too fast with the present perfect explanation, it's because I already did this in one video. Okay, the first video, the part 1 of this lesson, talks only about present perfect. So it's a 25-minute video where I give you all the explanations, affirmative sentences, negative sentences, interrogative sentences, past participle. So if you need more explanations about present perfect, go back to part 1 because there you have more details. Here I'm just doing a very quick review, and now we're going to move on to the real part of this lesson, which is the difference between simple past and present perfect. Now, we have 2 big differences. Yes, my friends. And before I tell you the 2 big differences, well, you can read it already. But hey, support the channel. Hit the like button, because when you hit the like button, YouTube understands that you enjoy my videos, so YouTube will give you more recommendations of lessons that I made, that I created, that can help you improve your English, okay? And make sure to check your subscription, because more than 50% of people who watch my videos, who shares my lessons, are not subscribed. So make sure to be part of this beautiful community of awesome English learners. Become an awesome English learner. Subscribe. Anyway, so the 2 big differences. The first one is the conjugation, the structure. So in the simple past, you will conjugate the verbs in the past. I went, I worked, I did, I bought, I thought, I drank, I visited, I needed. It's a very simple structure. Okay? In the negative form, you will use didn't, and then you don't change the verb. I didn't go. I didn't listen. I didn't study. My friend didn't come. My sister didn't visit me. My father didn't watch. I didn't buy. So it's a much simpler structure. The second big difference, okay? This is a real big difference, is the time. Yeah, my friend, that's when things get interesting. What am I talking about? Teacher Prix, are you crazy or what? I'm a little crazy, but this is good. Well, take a look at the 2 phrases that I wrote here on this slide. I went to New York last year. Okay, simple past. I went. Went is the past of go. I went to New York last year. Last year, 2018. Last year. This year is 2019. So last year, 2018. So I went to New York last year. Now let's see a similar phrase, but now with present perfect. I have been to New York. Where's the time? There you have it. I do not mention it. Why? Because I cannot do it. I cannot mention a finished period of time. Because if I do that, then I cannot use present perfect. I have to use simple past. And here, I am more focused, I am more worried about describing the experience, describing the situation, going to New York. I've been to New York. It's amazing. Okay, it was amazing. So I have been to New York. Here, I'm focusing on telling you what I did in the past, but I'm not telling you when. You can ask me, oh, when did you go? Now, you are asking in the past because you want to know a specific time. Okay, and probably if I'm telling you this, it's something I did already. It's in the past, but I don't want to tell you when. I just want to focus on the experience. And if you pay attention, the conjugation is different. I went, go, past of go, went. In present perfect, I need have, and then I need the verb in the past participle form, okay? The third column. So go, went, gone. Here I use the verb to be. Be in the past was, were. In the past participle, been, okay? Excellent. Now, let's analyze a little bit more. I went to New York last year. I have been to New York. No specific time. So with simple past, I can use specific time expressions. Usually these expressions, they are all finished period of time, okay? So while with present perfect, I do not use it, all right? I've had a good day, you know? I don't tell you when, but it's probably today. Or I could say I had a good day, no problems. So here's when things start to get a little interesting. You can use simple past, all right? No problems. But as a speaker who is trying to improve, who is trying to speak like native speakers and become more advanced and become more fluent, you have to begin including a little bit of present perfect. That's the catch, okay? You can do anything you want with simple past. You wouldn't necessarily need present perfect, but it's important. You need it, okay? When I say you don't need it, in terms of communication, you can just say simple past, it's okay. But that's not how native speakers do. That's not, and when I say native speaker, it's not just because I want you to be like a native speaker. No. If you want to use English properly, the way they use, then you have to include a little present perfect. It's important because they use it. It's important in the English language. Therefore, you should start learning and using slowly, gradually, including present perfect sentences in your repertoire, in your communication, okay? Now, here I have more examples, because now you may be thinking, oh, teacher, but I can never use any time expression with present perfect, so I can never say anything. Not necessarily. Remember, I cannot use finished period of time. Now, any phrase, any expression that doesn't indicate that, it's okay. So if it's an open period of time, I can. Pay attention. I traveled last week. I have studied English today. Well, here in Brazil, it's 7:43 p.m. It's not over. Today is still here. Okay, so I've studied English today. You know that it's past. You know it was probably 2 hours ago or in the morning or in the afternoon. But it's not important for me to tell you that. It's important to tell you that I've done it. I've studied English today. Now, if you want to know more, then you can ask, oh, what time? Oh, well, I studied in the morning. Okay, then I have to go to simple past because the morning is already gone, is already finished, so I cannot use present perfect. Okay? I went to Canada last year. It's over. I went last year, 2018. I haven't called my parents this week. Today is Tuesday. This week will only end on Saturday. Okay, Saturday, yes. On Saturday, so it's not finished yet. All right? So it's an open period of time. It's not finished. So I can use present perfect with these kinds of expressions. This year, this month, this week, no problems. Today, okay? Here I didn't write any example, but I can also say recently, lately, because these are words that do not indicate a time, a fixed period of time that is finished. Recently. Well, I don't know when exactly, but I know it's recent. Recently. Lately. I don't know, it's not finished, but maybe it was 2 weeks ago until now. Lately. So any expression, any time expression that is very open, that is not finished, can and should be used with present perfect. I have been to the USA this year. This is true for me. I've been to the USA this year. If you're curious, then you can ask, oh, really, teacher? When? Where did you go? Then I can say, well, I went to New York in April. Then I have to go to simple past because I'm going to talk about April. April is already finished. It's a finished time expression. Then I have to use the simple past form. I was born in 1987. Being born already happened, okay? So I cannot use present perfect. I have been born since 1987. I'm not being reborn and reborn since then. No, I was born. It's a specific activity. It happened on a specific day, and that's it. I cannot continue talking about that. So it's not... I saw someone posting a comment asking me about this question. Teacher, can I say I have been born since 1987? No, you cannot. I was born. It's a finished activity. It's not an activity that I would talk about in present perfect, because the idea would be very confusing. In 1987 is a finished period of time, but at the same time, this is an activity that doesn't repeat itself. Okay. Awesome. Let's see if here I have posted many videos on my channel. I'm not telling you when. So here I'm showing you the option of using some time expressions with present perfect, but it's not mandatory. You don't always have to use a time expression. If you don't want it, no problems. I have posted many videos on my channel because I want to help you learn. See? I talked about it. I use it present perfect. I have posted many videos on my channel because I want to help you become a better English speaker. So how about hitting the like button to support me? Haha, excellent. I have more than 300 videos. You should check them out. Awesome, my friends. Moving on. So here to finish up, well, I have 2 more slides, but finishing up. Simple past. I conjugate the verbs in the past form, regular or irregular. Okay, second column. Go, gone. Go, went. Do, did. Watch, watched. With simple past, I also give the idea of a finished period of time. The focus is on the conclusion of the activity. It's important for me to mention time, but not mandatory, okay? And here with simple past, I use the auxiliary verb did to ask questions and to make negative sentences. I didn't watch. I didn't go. Did you watch? Did you watch my video yesterday? Yesterday's finished. Did you watch my video yesterday? Let me know here in the chat. Now, present perfect is different. You will conjugate the verbs in the past participle form, okay? Here is the third column of conjugations. The regular and irregular verbs change. Well, only the irregular verbs change, okay? So you will use regular verbs. You maintain. I have watched. I have traveled. I have needed. But with the irregular verbs, they will change. The second important thing about present perfect, it doesn't focus on time. You know it's an activity that is started in the past and may have a consequence in your present and future, but you don't focus on a finished period of time. You focus on the experience, okay? And here you use the auxiliary verb have and has. Here, have and has are not verbs to indicate possession. I have a car, you have a phone, I have a teacher. No. Here, it's just helping you create the present perfect structure. It's an auxiliary verb. And you can use time expressions, but not all of them. Okay, so today, this week, this year, recently, lately, any time expression that does not indicate finished period of time, okay? Excellent. Now, as usual, I have homework for you guys, okay? So I have 2 questions and I want you to post in the comments your answers. One is with present perfect and one with simple past. What did you do yesterday? Simple past. Yesterday's finished. Teacher, I watched your lesson. I went to the gym. I worked. I did my homework. I visited a friend. I called my sister. What did you do yesterday? And now with present perfect, what have you done today? Teacher, I have called my friends. I've been to the supermarket. I have watched some videos on YouTube. I've been to the gym. I have listened to some podcasts. I have made cookies. I made muffins today. Very nice. Guys, so that's the idea of present perfect and simple past. That's the main difference between these guys. If you have questions, make sure to let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for your participation. Make sure to share this video. Many people have questions and would love to watch this lesson and would really benefit from watching this lesson. So by sharing this lesson with someone, you are helping people like you improve their English skills. And you're also helping me, your favorite teacher in the universe, in the galaxies. Excellent, my friends. Have a lovely night or a lovely day, and I will see you tomorrow for another lesson. Bye-bye.